Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be stitching this particular dress that you're seeing here. So this is the part 2. If you've not watched the part 1, go ahead and watch the part 1 before you come over to watch this one, because in this one we are just stitching it. So these are the pattern already. We've used it already to cut on the fabric. We've added our wedding, we've added our allowances and all of that, both for the front and for the back. So right now you can see what I'm doing. You can see that I added extra allowance at that other part, the allowances. So right now we're just going to go ahead now and stitch it with half an inch, just like that. It is not going, so I have a detailed tutorial where I taught how to actually stitch, iron and everything, so you can go over to that video and watch it. So right now we're just going to be stitching it on this other video. So I'm going over to the machine and I'm going to stitch it, and then this is the outcome when I was done stitching it. I have not ironed it yet. This is how it came. So right now I just went ahead. Actually, this outfit you can make it a bust, you can actually make it a corset, but the client said she doesn't want it too tight, so she just wants the normal bustier. So that's why I had to use bustier for her. So this is the outcome. I'm going to go over to the machine. I'm going to notch them. I'll turn over like this, then I'll bring it inside, then I'll notch it. You can see I actually draw my line before I actually rule my line before I was able to stitch it. Half inch, you should do same. We should do same so that you not make no mistake. Then make sure you notch your bust points and your under bust points when you're done sewing. So when I was done, that's how I'm going to do. And I'm going to also go over, I'm going to iron it very well so it will be flat. If you don't want to iron it, you can actually stop stitch. After all, the net is going to cover it. So this is me just notching everything round, and I'm going to go over to the machine. Then I'm going to go away. I'm going to iron it just like that. So you can see the bust is already coming out. So I'm going to iron it. When I'm done ironing it, I'll come back for you. So this is it when I was done ironing. You can see how it is. I'm actually going to be adding a cup to this dress. I'll be adding a cup, but first of all I've gone ahead also to stitch the lining just the same way I stitch the actual fabric. Then I've already done the same. I've stitched the, and I also stop stitch and I've ironed it. This is it. So you can see I've already ironed it and I've done it exactly what I did to the main bodies. That's what I'm doing to the actual lining. So I'm going to turn it over to the other side, then I'm going to go ahead and stitch it just like that. So you can see the allowance that I added. So as I want to take my bust dart first before I can stitch it, so I just use the pattern paper, I marked it, and I'm going to go ahead now to remove the pattern paper. Then I'm going to take my bust dart of 1 inch. I measured that our shoulder to our waist from the back side is 17 inches, while the front is 18 inches. So I already measured that, so I'm going to use 1 inch to actually take the bust dart, you understand. So I went ahead to notch it this way, so they will be uniform. So you should do the same when you're making your own. Notch it, or whenever you're taking your bust dart. Your bust dart is the difference between your shoulder to your waist front and your shoulder to your waist at the back. Yes, if you do not want to take that bust dart like this, you can actually trim from the sideways, just minus 1 inch. Then at the back you also minus 1 inch, so it will correspond. So I'll go ahead and take the bust dart just like this. I folded it, so I'll go ahead and take it. Then that's what I was trying to explain. At the back side, I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut out 1 inch from the back, so it will correspond from the side. You understand, it will correspond from this side. So that's it. I'm done with the bust dart, and that is what we have. So right now I'm going to go over now. I've also took the bust dart at the lining also. So right now I'm going to pin, because I want to turn the neck first. So I'm going to pin it like this. I'll pin it, making sure that they correspond. Then I'll just pin it down. When I'm done pinning it down, I'll go over to the machine. I'll stitch it from that point. I'll follow the lines and I'll stitch it there. When I get there, I'll stick my machine. Then I'll also go ahead and stitch the other way around. This is what I have when I was done stitching. I actually stitch with Amy gum, then I also stop stitch. Use your Amy gum when you are doing it. So that's what I did here. So when I'm ironing it, it will be easy for me to actually iron, and it will not affect my bust. So when I was done, you can actually stitch your bust, you can stitch your cup inside. You know, I've already taken my darts, and we've taken our darts on the bust. So our bust is actually 37 or thereabout. Our bust is 37. I use cup 36 or 37. That's because our back is wide, so our bust is not that big, but the bust is wide, so that is why I use like that. So when you're making for your own, you're going to check how, if it's actually the bust that is making a bust to be that 37, you can actually get a bigger one like 38. But if she has a smaller bust and then she's wide, you should know what to get, so you'll not get an oversized bust. And when you're done, this is my first time of using this gum to I used to stop stitch it with the allowance. I stop stitch it, but this particular time I decided to just use it like this. This is what most people do. You just place your bust at that midpoint where you have the neckline, paste it there and gum it all together. You can see exactly what I'm doing. Gum it all together. I actually use this method because I did not have time. I actually made this dress in a rush. So when I was done, I actually check if I have my half length from the front, and when I add excess, I had to trim them out, and I also trim out any excess from the lining, also trim that out. And this is it. You use your fabric. This is what you're doing with the net that you're seeing with that lace at that point. This is how you're going to overlay it. Just place it. You know, you actually use the pattern to cut it before you tear everything out. So this is the actual bodice, this is the actual bodice plus the allowance. So just use it like this, place it that way, the same way, just spin it down. You can actually put it on the mannequin, or if you have a dress form or your client is there, or it might not be necessary, especially because the lace that I used was not that stretchy. It's the original chantilly lace, so it was not that stretchy, so that is what I use. So I'm just going to go ahead now and place it that way. Then I'm going to go over to the machine. I'm going to stitch it also, but first of all, make sure you pin everything down exactly what you measure. Then when you're done, you're still going to measure to make sure that it is complete from your shoulder to your underbust. From your underbust, you have the full measurement, and you have some inches for stitching along. So that's it. Just post it like that and just stitch it together. Let it be together with the Ankara. So this is the lining, and I've also gone ahead to overlay this one. I'll just paste it on top, then I'll stitch it just like that. I'll stitch it so it to be one piece. Then when I'm done stitching it to be one piece, that's when I'll use the lining to actually turn all the sides together. You understand? So when I was done, this is how it is. So I'm just going to go ahead now and measure and make sure that they are corresponding. I'll pin it down because I want to actually cut the back darts right now. You can see what we have here is the same thing. So what I want to do right now, I want to place it over like this to check if what I have is actually how it's supposed to be. So I'll bring the front pattern of our fabric. I'm going to bring it out right now, and I'm going to try to arrange it. Then I'll check from the side, from the armhole. I'm going to check if they are corresponding. If they don't correspond, it will not correspond, because remember I took I took 1 inch out for our bust dart. So I'm just going to place it like that over here. You understand? I placed it from the lace. I actually placed it from the front at the side. Then when I'm done placing it, I'm just going to check if they correspond with the dark, and they did not correspond. So I'm going to mark the 1 inch out. When I'm done marking it out, I just go ahead now and make sure that it corresponds at the shoulder parts, remember. Then when I'm done, I will just go ahead now and cut it out so it will correspond, and there will be no gaping at the side and all of that. So it will actually correspond when we are joining from side to side, which is what we are supposed to do. So that's the essence for that. So this is it. When I was done, I've already gone ahead to do everything together. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn the neck with bias actually. So that's the bias. I'll use it to turn the neck of this one. Then when I'm done turning the neck, I'll come back for you guys to see. I'm going to shape this cloth. I plan to shape it lining to lining and fabric to fabric, but there was no time, so I didn't do it like that. I just shape it the normal way. So this is it when I'm done turning the neck with my bias. So right now I'll bring the net out of it, then I'll put it in the middle, then the lining and the fabric from the back, I'll turn it like this. This is to make this shoulder to be neat. The seams are not going to show because the net is going inside. You can see the net will go inside of the fabric. So after that, this is what we have. You can see how that place is neat. Forget about this one. By the time the client wears it, it's going to be all right because you actually use the correct measurement to do it. So that's it. So this is how it's going to be on the client's body when she's done wearing it. All the things that you're seeing here, they are going to correspond as at that time. So right now, I'm just going to go ahead now and turn this. I'm going to shape them together. You can see I'm going to shape it together. So when I'm done shaping it, I'll just keep it aside. This is the skirt. I've already gone ahead to turn the down part of the skirt. I have a detailed tutorial on how to make a pencil skirt. It is the same way, the same pattern. I did not add that. I've already took my dart at the back. I did not add that to the front. I only added that to the back, which you saw when we were stitching. So right now I'm joining it lining to lining and fabric to fabric because I'm adding hip padding. I'm padding the skirt, so I'm going to do lining to lining and fabric to fabric because you're actually padding the skirt. So the hip padding tutorial, I also have it on this channel, is actually the same pad that I use in making that one. I just remove it because it was for me and I wasn't using it, so I just remove it and I'm going to add that pad to this other outfit, which you will see is exactly what we did in that one. I just removed it from there and I added it because we are almost the same body measurement. So I just removed it and it was an emergency. She did not want it, but later she said I should pad it for her, so that was why I just had to remove that one ready made. I just removed it because I was the one that made it and I just added it for her. So I'll go ahead and join lining to lining and fabric to fabric by the side. I'm just joining with the allowance that I added. Then you should also understand that if you're adding hip padding to your dress, that means you're going to add 1 inch extra. If it's half inch, you're adding half inch extra. So I actually added 1 inch extra to this. That's why the 1 inch extra is where the hip is going to stay, so I added it to it. So that is what I did. So I'll go ahead now and join the side seams. I'll join them lining to lining, fabric to fabric, back to back and front to front. It's only at the zipper allowance that I'm going to join them together. You understand? So this is what I mean, lining to lining and front to front. When it gets to this down part, you just make it like this, lining to lining and front to front. So it's going to be inner sewing. There will be no seams outside, everything will be inside. So this is it. When I was done, I'm done doing everything like that. I'm sorry it's not really showing that much. So I'm done stitching everything with the allowance that I added. So after stitching it with the allowance that I added, everything will be left with our body measurement and the extra allowance that we added. So this is what we have here. So I went ahead now to just bring it out like this and to check what we have. Then this is what we have, guys. So I'm going to check if the measurements are correct. When I check if the measurements are correct, I'll go ahead now to attach the zipper. I'll go ahead now to attach, sorry, I beg your pardon. I'll go ahead now to attach my hip padding, and make sure when you're done, you face iron the back first. You iron the back, you understand? You open everything up, iron your back seams very well. When you're done ironing, that's when you're going to attach your pad. Even if you're not adding anything, just make sure you iron it so it will come out very neat. So this is me just checking the measurements if they are corresponding, plus the extra 1 inch that I added for the hip allowance, which is very, very necessary. So when I was done checking, I made sure everything was corresponding and I went ahead to add my hip allowance. So guys, if you guys have watched this video to this point, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification button, guys, and please share this video to your friends. Thank you so much. Like this video, thank you, and I really do appreciate. So the tutorial to the hip padding, I'm going to still drop it. I'll put it on the description box for you guys who see it. So I'm just counting. This is what we normally do. So this is it when I was done. I'm also going to do a short video where I was attaching this part to this dress, this particular dress. I'll do it, although it's in the other one, but I'll still do it how I added it. You can see from the, you would not even know that she wore hip padding. So yours should be also perfect like that. So you just watch and see. So that is it. When I'm done, you can see everything is inside. It's only at this zipper side that you're going to have seams outside. So that is it, guys. You can see the hip padding very well. It came out very beautiful and I absolutely love it. So when I'm done, I also plan to make this inner sewing, but because of time I didn't want to waste my time, so I'm just going to go ahead now to stitch it together. Notch the midpoint of your blouse and then the midpoint of the skirt, and then stitch it from the midpoint to midpoint and the other midpoint to the other midpoint till you get to the zipper allowance. Then you go ahead. I've not added, you make sure that your seams are going to correspond, because they are actually the same allowance. At your hip padding does not affect the waist measurement. It does not, because it's not getting to the waist. So that's it. I'm going to stitch it that way, then I'll stitch it the other way, and we are done with our blouse. So we go over now to the sleeve. Is the normal sleeve. I've gone ahead to cut it already and I've added paper stay. Is the normal sleeve. I just came up by about 3 inches. That is my actual length. My actual length is actually like it was like the actual length of this sleeve was like 10, so I came up by 4 inches, so we can have that curve at this other point. That's the only place that I came up. Then I just added more inches so that it will not be tight on the body. I added soft gum stay. I added gum stay to the fabric and to the lining. I added everything together. Then I'm going to turn it with Amy gum so it will stand very well. So I'll turn both sides with Amy gum. When I'm done turning, this is what we have, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch it like this. It's going to be lining to lining and fabric to fabric. So I'm just going to check the measurement that I want, that I'm going to use, and when I was done, it depends on how wide you want it to be. That's what you're going to do. So this is what I took. I just used 1/2 inch to straight everything. Then I'm going to, this is what we have at the end. So it's supposed to be standing. You can actually use this strong gum stay. Yes, you can use a strong gum stay. So when I was done, I've gone ahead now to add it to the actual. You can see how it came out. You can see it's actually standing. If you want it to really stand very well, use a strong gum stay. Then when I was done, this is what we have, guys. So the dress came out very beautiful and my clients absolutely love it. So to knitting this armhole part, I'm going to use my bias. I cut my lining in a bias form, then I'm going to use it to turn and cover up these rough stitches so that the inner sewing will be neat. You trim, you can actually weave it. You also do the same, you weave this other part because there was opening also there. So when I was done, this is what we have, guys. It came out so beautiful and I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you so much. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back. I really do appreciate, and see you in my next one. Bye.